Hello and welcome to My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. The game today, midweek madness. That's right. Pakistan playing New Zealand. But of course the problem is the rain. Always the rain. Always with the rain, I tell you. Birmingham is where this match is happening. So obviously Pakistan is going to be getting a lot of support. I have Zaheer Khan and Robin Uthappa here with me. We seem to be here very often, gentlemen, this week. It's a good week. I like it.
It is a good week, isn't
it? We got a little troika going over here. We got a little three-way action going on. But today also there's three-way action happening at Birmingham. There's New Zealand, there's Pakistan, and there's the rain. Hate the rain.
It's unfortunate, but I'd like to know what happens if this match gets washed out. What happens to the table? Like the whole thing changes, doesn't it? We haven't considered the rain actually.
I think Pakistan is going to take an axe.
England will be happy.
Pakistan will take an axe to the table. Just England is going to be very happy, obviously.
If that happens, but doesn't look like the weather forecast is not
like it's
that
changing.
bad. The fourth quadrant of that what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So there is there's what?
Is what?
There's Pakistan.
Yeah.
There's New Zealand.
Yeah.
There's the rain.
Yeah. And
And
this?
fourth is covers.
Covers. That's
So
right.
if covers don't come into play, then they'll be fine.
Yeah, so the thing is that obviously they're removing the covers right now. The problem is always wet outfield. So it's not raining and it's not supposed to rain today. So therefore, we'll get a 50-over game. And I think both New Zealand and Pakistan will want that 50-over game. Let's have a look at the table. Say, why did I say Pakistan will take an axe to the table in case they get just the 1 point today in case it's rained out? That's because then they can only get to 10 points. They want to play their 3 games. They want to win their 3 games. They want to pick up those 6 points and go to 11 because 11 is kind of looking like a sort of safe zone right now because England has to win both of their games and that's not going to be easy because they're playing New Zealand and India who are in fantastic form and only if they can beat both those teams and that's a big if for England, right? Considering they have lost to Pakistan, Sri Lanka and yesterday to Australia. Confidence is not good. They're looking tentative in the field. It's not the same England that you saw 5 or 6 weeks ago leading up to the World Cup. Therefore, England, that if is a big if. It's fair to say it's a big if.
Oh yeah, it's a massive if right now because those 2 games are like heavy duty games for them to be playing, keeping playoff in mind, right?
Yeah.
So you know that it's going to be a high pressure game for the English guys.
And Pakistan, Zach, I always feel like Pakistan is one of those teams. You know how injured tigers almost, when you corner them, they come at you the hardest. They're in a situation now where you're going, all right, these are literally like 3 knockout games for us. We got to win all 3 and get to the semi-final.
I mean, usually when you are put in this kind of situation, some teams respond in this fashion, and Pakistan is used to responding in this fashion.
Yeah.
You know, so that's something which is going in their favor. Also, it's actually mirroring what happened in '92 when they won that World Cup. You know, so things are going in pretty much similar fashion for them.
Ominous. Pakistan fans very happy with this, aren't you? Of course you are. Mirror image, mirror, mirror on the wall.
So they will now take this as an inspiration. You know, they'll say, okay, you know, it's happening for a reason.
Yeah.
And you know, we just have to get things together. And they looked upbeat in the last game. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair to them, I think they looked very keen on winning the match. They really want to change things around in terms of, you know, what was happening after that India-Pakistan game. It was not easy phase and they seem to be putting things together in a good manner. Like, you know, they looked positive, the intent was good and that's something which actually helped them set the tone for the match and then they carried on from there. So you would hope them to take the momentum which they've created in the previous match forward now to the next one. You know, after beating South Africa and doing so many things right except for their catching. I think, you know, they've pretty much ticked all the boxes.
Yep. Catching is a problem. It has been a problem.
They've been sharp everywhere. You know, they've been really sharp with their batting, with their bowling. The decisions made on the field also have to be given credit for because those decisions have been crucial in the way the game has turned. The only thing that's let them down is their fielding.
Yeah.
So if the team was doing well, they'd say that okay, you know, I think the only gap we need to fill is our fielding. but they need to really pick it up right now so that doesn't affect these games when.
Yeah, I mean, 14 dropped catches in 6 games that they've played, right? Oh, one sec, they have one rained out. So 5 games that they've played, 14 catches they've dropped. That's, wow, man.
Almost 3 a game.
That's 3 a game.
Yeah, 3 a game is
3 a
huge.
game is
Yeah.
a lot.
Huge number.
How do bowlers react when fielders drop 3 catches per game?
I wonder how Wahab Riaz is keeping his cool.
Yeah.
He's looking frustrated, but he's not. He's making sure actually that credit to him, and that's the way one should deal with these kind of frustrations when your team members are dropping catches, because no one is intentionally wanting to drop a catch. It just happens. And Wahab, even though he's frustrated that he's not got that wicket, all his hard work is gone down the drain. He has not shown that emotion to the fielder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is something in the team environment is important thing to do, which we've seen from South Africa the other day. It was the different picture.
Yeah.
So when you have someone bowling a short ball, going for a run, and then pitching it up, and people throwing their hands off, showing emotions in a wrong way, that shows where that team is lying.
Yeah.
So I think from Wahab Riaz's point of view, he's sending a good signal in that team environment, that he understands that everyone is putting effort. It's just that the catches have been dropped.
Tell me something, but I want to just go back, since, I mean, the toss has not happened yet. We can sort of talk about stuff like that. You bowling, right, in your entire career, do you remember the incident when you're always disappointed when a catch gets dropped of your bowling, but do you remember that incident when you were the most disappointed, a wicket that you really wanted, a guy who was really troubling you, a time when it went down and go, not this one, don't drop this one?
Oh, I can't remember that.
Yeah.
I can't remember that. But yeah, I mean, there are many catches being dropped on my bowling, and I'm no exception.
Yeah.
I think everyone, if you have a
It
long career,
happens.
there are bowlers who have these moments where like the bail has not fallen. There are like some three, four instances which I remember clearly, where once the ball has gone for a boundary.
Yeah.
I thought actually it was inside edge of Maruf, and the whole stumps have gone literally tilted the other side and came back. It's like as if they have some earthquake resistance springs in those. It was literally like that. So yeah, those moments are frustrating. But see, as a team, we used to make that conscious effort that we're not going to show those emotions.
You spoke about that. Did you guys ever address that?
We did have those kind of chats in the dressing room.
Yeah.
In our team meetings, where we said that even if a catch has been dropped, we will not show our frustration or emotion towards that fielder who has dropped the catch.
Yeah.
Because when someone has dropped the catch, and he needs more support.
Yeah.
So you make that conscious effort of going and giving him that confidence, because the game is not over.
Yeah. True.
Right. So if another catch goes to him, he has to be ready and confident enough, rather than thinking that, oh, if I drop this one, I'm gone.
Taxi.
But kind of scenario which England is in right now, that if we lose, we are gone.
Yeah.
So that is something which doesn't help. So it's important that you give him that an encouragement, because he is also feeling it. Like he's dropped a catch, he's not going to be happy about it, dancing that okay, I've dropped a catch.
Yeah.
That's
why you must have really liked what Bumrah did with Quinton de Kock. I think it was in the final, right? In the IPL final, when he walked up to him in the last over and he was like, that's fine, it's all right, man, that happens. You must have really liked that, actually.
Yeah, of course. I mean, those are the kind of things which gives you a glimpse of what's happening in a team environment also.
Yep.
When it's not only about enjoying each other's success. It's about sticking through the weak phases also, and these kind of moments, disappointments. If someone is not in form, he needs more encouragement, right? You need to lift that player up, and your team is as strong as your weak link.
Yeah.
So if someone is going through a bad form, or someone is not struggling with his game, then that's the time he needs more encouragement.
Yeah.
So it's also very like, what do you say? It's very why is brain fades happening to me?
Disheartening?
Not disheartening,
Heartbreaking?
but it passes on. It's very
Contagious.
Contagious.
Yeah, contagious.
We're in it together, brother. We're in it
It's
together.
very contagious. You see, when someone drops a catch, and then if they don't support that player like you do, and the morale's down because of a catch that's dropped, then everyone's on pins. and needles. You know, they're worried about, okay, if I drop a catch, then man, it's gonna be heavy on the team.
Yeah, this could happen to me as well.
Yeah,
What's happening to him can happen to me.
So it's easier said than done to support a fielder when he drops a catch for a bowler who's working really hard, especially on wickets that are not helping the bowlers, or you know that it's not as conducive for bowlers, and they have to really bend their backs or work really hard or strategically work really hard to make the batsman create an error.
Yeah.
And then a catch goes down. It's very hard to actually say, you know what, it's okay, don't worry, I understand you're trying your best, or put an arm around him and say, don't worry, buddy, another one will come your way.
Yeah.
That's very hard to do. But when they do that, it doesn't make the rest of the others panic.
Okay, fair.
Everyone else is like, okay, you know, we're in a good place. The environment is in a good place.
Yeah.
But the minute that frustration is shown, what happens is everyone's on like pins and needles then. Before there was only one guy on pins and needles. But the minute that's expressed and this frustration is shown, even though it might be very momentary and it's not like something that deeply affects the bowler after 10 minutes, but that signal sends a message to everyone that, you know, we really got to catch everything that comes our way. That makes you slightly more stiffer to catch a ball.
Yeah.
You know, and then the chances of dropping are a lot more.
Correct.
Seems like what's happening with Pakistan.
Yeah.
Like it seems like they're not reacting, but I think the fact that it's such a big stage and then one or two catches have gone down in the game, everyone's on pins and needles.
Makes the hands harder.
Like just makes it the hands just that much more harder.
Yeah.
To comfortably hold on to catch.
You know, when I was in a junior team, my captain was a bowler, and I was always a little scared to drop a catch of his bowling because I knew that my batting would go one slot lower. Like, you know, that's junior cricket, that happens. There's a little fear in your head, oh no, you know, it's human, right?
Yeah.
You get a little scared.
And then,
was there any bowler you were a little scared of saying, his catch I don't want to drop here, this is thoda easier. I'm scared of it.
There was, when I started playing Ranji Trophy, I was 17 years old. So I was very scared of
I know who he is. Who?
Venkatesh Prasad was very scared.
What about Kumble?
Anil Bhai was, you know, Anil Bhai will fire you.
Yes.
There was a time you were playing, but Anil Bhai, you know, it'll only be like, he'll say something and then you know it won't, it's over there.
Yeah.
So there was one game where Anil Bhai was bowling and then I was in short leg and he made me stand in silly point. We were playing Duleep Trophy. Sorry, he made me stand in leg slip. And he bowled a nice flipper and then the batsman just kind of leg glanced it and I stood there and went through from here. I didn't know if I had to look at Anil Bhai or look at the ball, look down or, you know.
Dig a hole.
I just kind of froze. Anil Bhai saw my helplessness and said, it's okay, let me not say anything. But I was very scared of Venkatesh Prasad growing up.
Yeah.
Because he was like the super senior of the side. And at that point, it was not known for like 16, 17-year-olds to, you know, join the Ranji Trophy team. And then, you know, I would be so scared that from mid-off to pass the ball to him, I wouldn't throw it because of the fear of going above him. So I would run up to him, put the ball in his hand and then come back to mid-off and stand and field. That's
Delivery
how scared I was. As a
Delivery service. Sir, ball for you.
I was actually that scared of him. I actually told him this recently.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
What a story. 5-star rating for the delivery boy.
There's one time we were playing in Ahmedabad. So I was standing in mid-off, I threw the ball and I knew as soon as it left my hand, that's gone over his head. As soon as it left my hand, it's like me and the ball ran together. I was running behind the ball. I didn't look at Venki. I like, no, chuck that, let me get the ball and put it in his hand. That was one of like, today when I think back of it, it's like so funny, but it's actually something that happened to me. It was,
you know,
crazy.
You hate it when it rains, but then you also love it when it rains because we can talk about stories like this. Let's also talk about, since we do have a little time, let's also talk about the other team. Since we spoke about England, another team that has a chance to get to the semi-final is Sri Lanka. Now, another team that was being written off early in the tournament. You were like, who are these players? Where are their players? Most of the players you recognized were actually playing against India A in Belgaum. And then you had these players and you were like, oh, who's their captain? How do you say it? Dimut Karunaratne? Like, what's his name? Everybody was really confused. And suddenly now, if you look at the points table, here is where they are located. So this is what Sri Lanka has done so far, right? So they've had 2 matches abandoned to rain, which is the only team that has had 2 matches lost to rain. So that's been a little unfortunate for them. But they have won 2 games and that win against England. Now they're playing South Africa, who are down and out, right? West Indies, who are always an unknown commodity, right? And then, of course, their big match against India on the last day of the league phase. Now, if you come to the points table now, you've seen these are the 3 games that they do have left. When you come to the points table, you see they're at 6 points. They actually have the chance to get to 12, which Pakistan does not have, right? Pakistan doesn't have the chance to get to 12. Bangladesh doesn't have the chance to get to 12. Only England and Sri Lanka technically have a chance to get to 12.
Yeah.
So you look at these scenarios and take the pressure off, right?
Yeah.
So you do what you can do best. So in this scenario right now, all the teams, which are now looking at a spot in that semi-final, will be looking at, okay, let's control the controllables, right?
Yeah.
What's the best we can do in this scenario? Where Sri Lanka, what is the best possible chance for them to get through? Is to get to that 12 points,
Yeah.
which means that win all the matches. So the thought process is simplified, right? For all the teams now, be it Pakistan, England or Sri Lanka, their thought process is pretty simple. If we lose a game, we are out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're then dependent on the other result, which is not the way to play a tournament anyways. Right?
Correct.
Or it's not in your hands anyways.
Yeah.
So they will be thinking that, let's just give it our best shot and just focus on one game at a time and winning one game at a time.
So that's the thing with Pakistan and Bangladesh both. They still have to win their remaining games, but while doing that, they perforce have to look at what the other teams are doing, right? They have to look at what Sri Lanka is doing and what England is doing. Sri Lanka is in that unenviable position actually, or in that enviable position, where they're saying, if we win all our games, we don't have to worry about what the others are doing.
Yeah, they don't. That's absolutely correct. But
No, they still have to worry about England, isn't it? Because England can still get to 12 points.
But honestly, it's looking a little tough after yesterday, no?
No, but I mean,
England getting to 12 points is looking a little tough.
It's a possibility.
The possibility is there. But let's look at the net run rates as well then. Let's bring those into play, right?
Yeah,
so,
it is a
therefore,
possibility.
out of these 2 teams, since both can get to 12, one will be feeling more comfortable than the other. And that team has to be England then, because Sri Lanka's got a negative net run rate and England has a positive net run rate.
Yeah, so deficit of what, 2?
And victories as well, and then more victories, because that's what comes into play.
So the
and because Sri Lanka's had those 2 abandoned games, Sri Lanka's actually, I take that back. Sri Lanka's only looking at England.
yeah, they're probably only looking at England.
Right.
So also, if you look at that game, so I'm looking at Bangladesh as a team. They've had a very good tournament outside of that one washed out game against Sri Lanka. Now they would have wanted to play that game.
Yeah.
Earlier, when you said that Sri Lanka would be disappointed that they missed out 2 matches, as in going against Bangladesh would have been favourites in that game. And looking at just current form and the way they've been playing, you would have given Bangladesh a chance to get 2 points against Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And that would have changed the table completely. Now, say for instance that game happened and Bangladesh won. So and then there's too much pressure on an England side.
Yeah.
To win the next 2 games, because it changes the whole scenario where they have to win both, and if Bangladesh win both, then there's a big chance that they go through.
Man, it's getting interesting. I'll tell you what we'll do. Sometime maybe later today or maybe even tomorrow, we'll take out what the remaining games are. We'll do a little scenarios.com and say what's the minimum that is required to qualify. Like for example, can anyone qualify at 10? Could it happen?
It can happen.
It could happen, yeah.
It can happen.
Yeah.
That possibility is still very much
Can
alive.
someone qualify at 9?
If it goes to that, then I think England will be very happy, because that means they have 1 game to win out of 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't tell them that though, man.
Yeah.
No, but I think at this stage, teams in the tournament don't really look at the table, and that's not the right way to go about it anyways. You just have to focus on winning, because if you can do things which are in your control, right, which give yourself the best possible chance of getting it right.
Yeah.
So rest of the things, all the teams should look at, like, Pakistan should look at, okay, let's just get to 11 points and we'll forget about qualifying and all that.
Yeah.
Because the fact is that if England wins both the games, they'll finish on 12 and Pakistan will finish on 11. So you have done what best you can do in the current scenario. So every team should be thinking that way, or if they're not thinking that way, they should start thinking.
Start thinking that way. Say, neki kar darya mein phink. Do your best and then throw it into the ocean. बाकी देखेंगे आगे क्या होता है, ठीक है? बाकी no control, my friends. You have control though. What do you have control over? Making your team. your My 11 Circle team. You've already downloaded the app at my11circle.com. Choose the game today. There is going to be a game. There's going to be a full game. I guarantee you that. If it doesn't happen, then I will give you your money back. You haven't given any money to me, but if you do, I'll give it back to you if there's no game. It will be a 50-over game. And now make your team. It's a tough one today because both these teams are pretty solid. They've got star performers, New Zealand and Pakistan both. The toss hasn't happened yet. You don't know the 11 that's playing. But I'll tell you, one guy you definitely want to have in your team is the New Zealand captain, Kane Williamson. This guy, I have to tell you, I'm a huge fan of Kane Williamson. I have always believed that Kane is able. See what I did there? There's just tremendous. And this tournament, again, he's been tremendous, hasn't he, Robbie?
He has, and he's someone who's consistently been dominant for New Zealand.
And also outside home, like he does well everywhere
He does well everywhere. He's got that wherewithal as far as technique is concerned, temperament is concerned, to be as good as he is everywhere in the world.
Yeah, and there you go. I mean, the highest ODI average for a player away from home, like everybody says, yeah, you do really well at home, and you've always played there. But he loves playing in England.
Yeah, so the thing about him is he's probably the only batsman going around currently in the world who's again who's the most orthodox batsman and still has the same success rate as the others, who are a lot more dynamic, who's probably a lot more explosive.
Yeah.
Like everybody else in that list were a lot more explosive compared to Kane Williamson. So he's very Rahul Dravid-esque. It comes in that package of a proper traditional batsman, orthodox batsman who can get runs, but he's figured out a way and his way to actually score runs and be consistent and score as many runs as the best batsman in the world today. And I'd have to say probably one of, like I said, Jasprit Bumrah is like the underrated superstar of bowling in the world. He'd probably be one of those as far as batting is considered.
You've played against him. Made his debut against you, didn't he? His
In
2010.
Ahmedabad.
Yeah, Ahmedabad. Yeah. This
umpire gave him not out. He was out on my bowling.
Oh, yeah?
Caught behind.
There was no
that. How many wickets you think you would have got extra with this?
I don't know, man.
30, 40 wickets.
50 at least.
50 at least.
Bol, Abhi, we can say it right now. 50 we can say. This one, we know for sure.
100 भी बोल सकते
100 भी बोल सकते हैं, ऐसा क्या?
Like before wickets.
बोलने पे कोई tax नहीं लगता.
Trajectory में career only would have changed.
No tax on
The
bowling.
moment you finish your career, then your suddenly value goes up. So you can keep adding.
Zach has always been
We
invaluable.
didn't have the physios, we didn't have the trainers. We had that all.
100 wickets easy.
200, yeah.
200. Spectacular.
It's so easy to bowl when you're sitting in a nice AC room, AC studio talking about it.
That's right. No run up to mark, no grime and no sweat. No 16, 17-year-old kids coming and delivering the ball to you, throwing it over your head. but Kane Williamson, your thoughts on Kane Williamson and his evolution from that day in Ahmedabad to now?
Solid player, I think. He's got the technique to last at this level and keep accumulating runs. That's something which you've seen with the Fab Four. You look at Joe Root, solid technique. You look at Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma. In that list, the name which was prominent was Rohit Sharma as well. Who's been very consistent in English conditions, and Shikhar Dhawan. But Kane Williamson, I think, has got that technique, plays the ball very close to the body, so that really helps him deal with the swing and the different conditions which are tough for batting. And predominantly a back foot player, the waits for the ball, and you've seen at the international level, lot of players who are good with fast bowling usually are the strong back foot players. Like for you to be successful at the international level, you got to be able to play those back foot shots as well. On both the side of the wickets. What works in Kane Williamson's favour is the fact that he's equally good player of spin. And that's why his numbers are good all around, and especially in subcontinent as well. That you've seen with lot of greats as well. They had to prove to coming to subcontinent conditions and getting those runs. So he has been able to do that as well. And in a shorter format, he has figured out a way of scoring runs.
Yeah.
So he knows how to build an innings. and that's why he's able to stack up those hundreds, which he has been doing in this tournament as well. So McCullum had said it as soon as he had played in that first match in Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
He was very clear that this guy is going to go and achieve something special for New Zealand.
Wow.
And just because of the grit and determination he has, so he has all the things which are required for him to be successful at the international level technically, but he also has that grit and determination which is required for you to keep at it. Like if you have to be doing things the same thing again and again and keep evolving as a player, you need that grit and determination as well, which he has.
And he's got a beard as well. That, yeah, you see with Rohit, with Virat, you got a beard, you get a few extra runs. I'm telling you, this is a conspiracy theory. Nobody's going to tell you about it. Just grow the beard. Grow the beard. I'm telling you, Steve Smith and Joe Root, they're missing out because of this.
No, Warner has.
Warner has,
Warner
yeah.
has.
Steve Smith and Joe Root.
I don't think they can grow one.
Joe Root and Steve Smith.
That could be the issue.
Babyface assassins. That's what they are. But yeah, so Kane Williamson, severely underrated white ball player. Is that safe to say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very, very underrated. But oppositions know. Maybe the audience out there don't probably see it or recognize it, but the players who play with him, against him, rate him extremely highly. So they know that this is a clog in that wheel that needs to be removed as quickly as possible, because once he gets in, then you know that you're in for a while with him.
You have to make you pay.
Yeah,
he'll make you pay. Tell you another person when he gets in and he really gets stuck in is Professor Joy Bhattacharya. Yesterday, he really got in with that question. Got stuck in, man. We were talking about the slot and the clot yesterday. He gave us a question that was in the clot, right? We were stuck. We couldn't play it. We had no idea what to do. Hopefully today, it's slightly juicier. Perhaps even a half volley. Is it? Well, like I can hope. Here's the question. Oh, we're going to read this font. This Indian ruler, oh my God, it's gone to history, was a grand nephew of Ranjit Singh Ji and played 13 first-class matches himself. However, he is remembered for a decision during the 48-49 Ranji season that would definitely not be regarded as sporting. Name this royal or the decision he made. So first, when I got to grand nephew of Ranjit Singh Ji, I immediately thought, okay, Ajay Jadeja. I was like, then he said 48-49. Brother is older, but not that old. He didn't play in the 48-49 Ranji trophy for sure. I know he's watching. Brother, I'm telling them, don't worry. Your salt pepper hair, I'm not letting it confuse anyone. He did not make his Ranji debut till well into the early 60s. So, it's not him. But who is it?
Early 60s.
Perhaps mid 60s. But who are we talking
You
about?
have to go in 48-49.
48-49.
If yesterday was a clot, today he's blotted us out.
Yeah, completely. No
I think he has taken it seriously.
Yeah, it's like these guys are making too much fun of me, so let me just like shut them up.
Yeah.
It's like enough.
Just destroyed us completely. We have no idea. If you do, then tell us on Twitter. Fire your answers in with the hashtag CricBuzzLive. I'm sure somebody or the other knows this. I'm sure one of our cricketing geeks has an idea of what this is. Tell us. No, I'm serious. Tell us, because even we want to know. Joy doesn't send us the answers till late at night, so we have no idea. All right, so I think we're going to go now. What is happening at the ground? We've got a little update for you, which is that there's some fielding cones that are out, some players are out, so there's no official announcement, but this usually means that they've been sort of whispered in their ear saying, well, 30, 40 minutes we could start, right? Normally that's when you come out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't lace up your spikes, right?
Yeah, when the toss is delayed, usually it's half an hour from the toss.
Yeah.
The match starts. So after this inspection, I think we'll get some kind of an idea when the match is going to start exactly. And the rain is not around, the ground is dried. So
I think it also puts the intent out from the players that they want to play.
Yeah.
You know, so the umpires try.
they want to play now. Even if there is risk of injury, now it won't be like how it was in the earlier part of the World Cup.
Yeah.
It will be now, we want to play because that's the best chance.
Yeah.
New Zealand possibly will be saying that, okay,
It's okay.
fine, we are sitting pretty, even if it's a washout, we'll get 1 point. I don't think today's game is going to be one of those kind of games, so we'll get a full play. and the forecast is also nice and decent.
We have checked all the weather apps, the credible ones, and they have all told us that it's a clear day. So as soon as those little wet spots on the outfield get cleared up, and honestly, I think Pakistan will be looking at that and saying, it's okay, we'll field first, give us gumboots, that's fine. We just want to play. Let's play. All right, we want to play as well. So what we'll do is we'll come back as soon as the toss happens. So watch out for the notification and the update on your Cricbuzz app, and we'll be back as soon as the toss happens to talk about the teams that have been selected, the 11 that's been selected by both teams. It's been fun chatting about cricket, not specifically about this game, but just about this beautiful game in general. Thank you so much for watching My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. A big thank you to Zaheer and Robin. Thank you for sharing those lovely stories. And we'll be back after the toss. From me, Gaurav Kapur, and the rest of our team, it's goodbye for now. Back shortly.